Hello, everybody. I'm so sorry I haven't gone live in so long. I am ashamed. But here I am. I just wanted to give you guys a brief update on the storm that's moving into the mountains tonight, and it will emerge on the eastern plains Thursday morning, tomorrow morning, and then I want to talk about another potential storm next week. But hello, say where you're. I just had a mini stroke. Say hello and where you're tuning in from. Like and share so that we can reach more people. You guys are absolutely splendiferously amazing. I don't want to take up too much of your time, maybe 5 to 10 minutes here at the most. I've been at Winter Park all week. The skiing up here has been so good. The snur, OMGina. I skied in powder up to my knees yesterday, so I was grateful for the groomers today, because skiing in powder is really hard on your legs, on your knees. Dan is working in Albuquerque. Shirley, Monument, Nadine and Albert, Samantha, Kittredge, Bob, Sarah, Grant, Brian. Hi, guys. So good to see you. Chris, Lori, Amy, Victoria, John, Rita, Colleen. I have an aunt named Colleen. Karina in Casterly Rock. Samantha. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for hopping on. If you want to smash that like and share button so that we can reach more people, helps this video trend higher in the algorithm. I am going to share my screen and then let's get to business, shall we? Okay, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do this. All right. So what you're looking at is one of many forecast models I like to use. This is called the NAM, the North American model. It's a high-resolution 3-kilometer forecast model that allows me to look up to 60 hours into the future. And obviously, you can see this storm system pinwheeling into the Great Basin, spreading snur across the Great Mesa, across the Grand Mesa. That'll get into my neck of the woods along and west of the Continental Divide tonight and going overnight into the day on Thursday. There may be a few showers that try and sneak off the Front Range and Eastern Plains. I know Casterly Rock had some hail a little bit ago. It's not going to be widespread precip here along the Front Range, but there could be 1 or 2 showers that are strong enough to overcome the downsloping that will make it off the foothills and onto the Front Range. Don't expect anything too terribly drastic. It is going to be very blowy, very windy across the Front Range and the Eastern Plains tomorrow, as well as the Continental Divide, and I'll show you what that looks like here in a second. But as we continue to go through the overnight hours, this is around midnight, getting into tomorrow morning, you'll notice the center of low pressure starts to wrap up here across extreme northeast Colorado, the Nebraska panhandle, and getting into extreme western Kansas. So that's where I believe, if you draw a line from about Chadron to Kimball, Nebraska, Sterling, getting into just west of Burlington down to La Junta, I believe this region could see some snur, maybe some sleet and freezing rain overnight and into the day on Thursday. So if you're traveling I-80 through Nebraska, if you're traveling I-76 going out of Colorado, or if you're traveling I-70, please be prepared for the possibility of winter driving conditions overnight and into the day on Thursday. Okay. And then as we go through the day on Thursday, that storm wraps up and moves off to the east. And we're pretty much done, other than the very blowy wind, which is what I want to show you guys next. Let me back this up. I want to show you what the wind's going to do as the storm moves across the mountains. You're going to see the wind start responding out of the east here across the eastern plains. That's going to help advect some moisture into the areas where I'm concerned about snow, sleet, and freezing rain. So there could be some low clouds, some freezing drizzle, patchy areas of fog out here on the eastern plains as you wake up tomorrow morning. And then notice the wind gets pretty gusty overnight out here on the eastern plains. We're pretty quiet here along the Front Range, but out here on the eastern plains, Nebraska panhandle, 25 to 35 mile per hour gusts as the winds respond accordingly ahead of the cold front will not be uncommon. And then notice the dark purples and reds start to show up here along the Continental Divide and along the I-25 corridor as the storm moves off the mountains and down here onto the plains. We're looking at gusts in the 50 to 60 mile per hour range here along the Continental Divide and in the higher elevations of the foothills by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. And even here along the Palmer Divide, 35 to 45 mile per hour gusts are possible. Black Forest, Larkspur, Monument Hill, Woodmore, Casterly Rock, places like that. Palmer Lake could be pretty blowy when you guys wake up tomorrow morning. The Rampart Range west of I-25, so the Air Force Academy, Cheyenne Mountain, the west side of Colorado Springs, going down into Fountain. Security Widefield could be pretty blowy when you wake up tomorrow morning. And then obviously going down into Walsenburg, Colorado City, Trinidad, going over the Raton Mesa will be pretty windy when you guys wake up tomorrow morning. And as we go throughout the day, notice the wind is northwesterly behind the cold front, and the wind is pretty much widespread. So while it continues to scream here in southeast Wyoming and the Nebraska Panhandle, as well as the Continental Divide, we're seeing widespread wind gusts during the day on Thursday, tomorrow, of 25 to 35 miles per hour. And there could be some locally higher gusts, especially here along the Palmer Divide, going into Lincoln and Elbert County. It's notoriously blowy out here as well. So just kind of a cold, raw day, windy day tomorrow in the wake of the cold front and mountain wave amplification. Just going to be pretty windy. So, I would take the time right meow to maybe put some ankle weights on your children, tie down grandma and grandpa so they don't, become victims of the blowies. Tie down your trampolines unless you want to re-gift them to the neighbors. Bring your trash cans into the garage unless you just want Mother Nature to deal with that for you. If you're just joining, say hello where you're tuning in from. I will repost this video in its entirety when we're done on the Facebook page so that you can go back and watch it from the very beginning if you're joining us late. So, and make sure to smash the like and share button so that we can reach more people. Okay. Let me go back to my screen. So yeah, going to be pretty blowy during the day tomorrow. And then as we go into Thursday night, the wind will relax here along the Front Range and Eastern Plains some. There could be some sporadic gusty winds up to 30 miles per hour, but the wind will continue to howl here along the Continental Divide and in southeastern Wyoming, where it is notoriously blowy during the fall and winter months. And then eventually the pressure gradient relaxes and we'll see the wind subside as we go into Friday morning. But then notice it gets blowy again on Friday. Zonal flow, a mountain wave is going to amplify again during the day on Friday. So again, pretty windy in Wyoming again along I-80 going over Elk Mountain, Rawlins, then even on I-25, Sheridan, going up to Douglas, Wheatland, Wyoming, very blowy on Friday as well. 55 to 65 mile per hour gusts here along the Continental Divide in the Front Range, and then there will be some sporadic gusts here along the I-25 corridor as well. The last thing I want to show you is next week. So this is the storm I just mentioned on the GFS that's going to be out of here by Thursday afternoon. At the same time, a pretty potent storm system is going to move into the Pacific Northwest over the weekend, and then it's going to turn and take a dive to the south over the desert Southwest and into the Four Corners region. And by Monday, we're going to have a surface low develop here in southeast Colorado. That's going to pull a cold front across Colorado Monday night and going into Tuesday morning. That's assuredly going to spread more moderate to heavy snow across the mountains, which is great news. Wyoming, pretty snowy and pretty blowy as well. And then as we go overnight Monday and into Tuesday, notice this storm undergoes cyclogenesis and wraps up a little bit too far to the east to have really any significant impacts along the Front Range and Eastern Plains. I think there could be some snow behind the cold front, certainly some wraparound moisture that impacts northern Colorado and northeast Colorado, with snow continuing under this trough of low pressure in the mountains, as well as the northern mountains, the Continental Divide, and southeast Wyoming. Friends in the Nebraska Panhandle, you'll need to pay pretty close attention to this storm Monday night going into Tuesday. There will be a severe side of this as well. The Storm Prediction Center is already forecasting a major severe weather outbreak with this storm during the day on Tuesday and potentially into Wednesday. So if you have friends or family in the Arklatex region, in the Mississippi River Valley, going into Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, even here in eastern Kansas and going into the Missouri Valley, please be mindful that there will likely be a severe weather outbreak Tuesday and Wednesday of next week with strong, long track, potentially violent tornadoes as well. I'll update on that as well as we get closer, as well as update you guys on the very cold, snowy, and potentially blizzard side of this storm Tuesday and potentially into Wednesday of next week before the storm weakens and exits out of the region. But yeah, whew, take a breath, smoke them if you got them. You may want to take a brief nap. I know I'm certainly going to. But just to recap, snow moving into the mountains off the Grand Mesa tonight, going into the day on Thursday. Be prepared for the possibility of snow, sleet, or freezing rain, mainly on the eastern plains and in the Nebraska Panhandle Thursday morning. It'll be very windy, very blowy along the Continental Divide and the Front Range and Eastern Plains during the day on Thursday. That will relax Thursday night with the exception of the Continental Divide and Southeast Wyoming, where the winds will continue to howl into Friday. And then this next potential storm, which could be a blizzard maker and in the warm sector, a severe weather maker Tuesday and into Wednesday of next week. I'll keep you guys updated like I always do. Smash the like and share button. And of course, support my local businesses because they are the reason you guys get access to this information absolutely free. I'm going to get back to my vacation. I hope you guys are having an amazing night. Be safe, stay healthy, take care of each other. Don't be dum-dums. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Okay, great. Thanks. Bye.